You ready to go? All right, let's do it. Welcome to Coffee with the Celtfather. I hope you're doing well today. Hopefully my sound is sounding good once again. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and start with this one. This is a song that started my whole... You know, interestingly, as I think about it, this is the song that started my whole sci-fi-ish music genre. It is the Jedi drinking song. I had one pint of beer and one shot of scotch, one bottle of wine and a bourbon on the rocks. I had one lassie on me right, another on my left. I looked that puppet in the eye and said, give me the test. Long time ago in a pub far away, I sat on Barstool just a drinking away. I couldn't hold it down, I guess I had too much. I felt a tremor in the force, then I lost my lunch. Woke up in a desert land, feeling hot and sick. I saw a bearded man, he looked like some kind of hick. He slowly waved his hand and my pain was gone. He said, let's go see Yoda and I'll teach you this song. I had one pint of beer and one shot of scotch, one bottle of wine and a bourbon on the rocks. I had one lassie on me right, another on my left. I looked that puppet in the eye and said, give me the test. We got a starship and we flew off into space. He said his name was Obi-Wan, there was no time to waste. I have to get you trained before it's too late. So drink this bottle of whiskey and don't give in to hate. Training went on and I drank most of the bar. We had to stop before flies in the nearest Death Star. I learned to throw my fear and hold my alcohol. Soon I was able to stand when Obi-Wan would fall. I had one pint of beer and one shot of scotch, one bottle of wine and a bourbon on the rocks. I had one lassie on me right, another on my left. I looked that puppet in the eye and said, give me the test. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Sat down beside him and I looked him in the eye. He looked right back at me and said, judge me by my size. Obi-Wan said, careful, for Yoda is the best. Said, okay, shorty, bring on that test. Well, I can tell you how it ended, I can tell you some lies. But let's just say that on that night, the force was on his side. I got riled up, they threw me into jail. I said, I don't believe it, Yoda said that's why I failed. I had one pint of beer and one shot of scotch, one bottle of wine and a bourbon on the rocks. I had one lassie on me right, another on the left. I looked that puppet in the eye and said, give me the test. I had one pint of beer and one shot of scotch, one bottle of wine and a bourbon on the rocks. I had one lassie on me right, another on me left. I looked that puppet in the eye and said, give me the test. Well, I looked that muppet in the eye and said, give me the test. Well, I looked that little rat right in the eye. The force should be with you always. Woo! All right. If you're talking about the, what is that from? I'm assuming it's the little lilting that I was doing just to sound check. What does everyone watch for May the 4th? We could only pick one because I worked all day. We watched Star Wars in our family. Had a nice little May the 4th gathering. Episode 6, good choice, always a good choice. Dan, I started watching the new cartoon series. I have, long thought I should watch Clone Wars, but I haven't seen it yet myself. Before I get started, I want to let you know if you're not signed up to my mailing list, head on over to celtfather.net and subscribe, because that's the best way to get, free stuff. and you can stay on top of what's happening with my music. I actually am tomorrow, I guess I'll be sending out a newsletter, which for Bandcamp Friday. Thank you, Carol, for mentioning that. But it is because I have a new CD. The new CD is called Virtual Public House. It is songs from the first 3 months of Pub Songs and Stories, my podcast, where I share stories from musicians. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. And this makes me happy. I haven't gotten my copy yet, but it's on its way, and that is As Long as I'm Flying. My CD before this one is that my official studio production album. The Virtual Public House is all like just me and the Auto Heart, but the As Long as I'm Flying is like my studio album. And in that album, it is it's now on vinyl. The vinyl cost is outrageous, because I can only, I don't expect to sell a whole lot, but aside from, vanity people like me. So it's a very high price, sadly. That's what I have to charge for it, but that's okay, because it's kind of awesome. I'm excited. I will have my copy hopefully by next week, and maybe I'll share it off if I can remember to do so. All right, so we are doing Star Wars versus Star Trek. Basically, when I started playing sci-fi-ish music, I didn't know I was playing it at the time. It was 2002 or 3 that I found the song Jedi Drinking Song by the Dust Rhinos over on mp3.com, and Andrew and I learned it. We got, started playing the song, and it was kind of awesome to start singing that song. And when we got to Dragon Con, it was a fan favorite, so started playing it a whole lot. So because of that, I have started doing a whole bunch of songs that went into that genre, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly, Doctor Who. Jumped into the sci-fi music world, and it all started because of the song you heard a moment ago, Jedi Drinking Song. This, on the other hand, is a song that was one of the earliest parodies that I really wanted to do. I thought my mom had this cassette of English Renaissance songs, and the song was called Nottingham Ale, and I was like, what would make a great parody? Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale, no liquor in spaces like Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale, no liquor is quicker than Romulan ale. When Vulcan was filled with emotions and war, to pull them from extinction there arose but one man. Sirrah deplored, emotions are bad, suppress all your feelings and logic will stand. Some Vulcans departed, for Romulus they charted, no logic to guide them, they still did not fail. Then they started brewing a blue mixture stewing that swept the whole quadrant. It's Romulan ale. All together now. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor in spaces like Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor is quicker than Romulan ale. You Vulcans and humans, Ferengi, Bajoran, when once you have tasted, you know it's a shame that Romulan ale was banned in all quadrants. One sip and you're drunk. Do you remember your name? You'll be a stargazer. It's better than phasers to put your mind up when something fails. Intoxicating nectar, Klingon blood wine's no better than a big gallon jug of that Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor in spaces like Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor is quicker than Romulan ale. You captains may hide from Federation eyes, Be thankful that they won't see you in the morn. When you grab a pretty ensign to take away your tension, you'll pull her straight to you as you fall through her door. You'll kiss her sweet lips, they'll stumble through the ship. She'll tell all her friends the captain she nailed. Intoxicating nectar, Klingon blood wine's no better than a big gallon jug of that Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor in space is like Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor is quicker than Romulan ale. You doctors may use it for medicinal fun. Better stick to your potions and hypos and pills. It may help you forget the ex-wives you stunned, but you left with your bones and barely a will. Some Romulans, they noticed these effects were a bonus, an extra added way to conquer the frail. Export this blue liquor, emotions fall quicker. Just spike Vulcan water with Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor in space is like Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor is quicker than Romulan ale. All together now. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor in space is like Romulan ale. Romulan ale, boys, Romulan ale. No liquor makes you sicker than Romulan ale. All right. What do I see? You had a CD before this one? Yeah, just a couple. I think that puts me at... I don't know if I should count this as official, though. Because my plan is it's a sort of going to be a limited edition. Sort of like Heroes was, but that one is no longer available. So, you know, my record player is dusted off. And thank you, Kelly, for ordering a copy of the vinyl. And Dan says vinyl sound is best sound. I'm looking forward to finding out just how good it is. Everything on vinyl. Love the stories behind the songs. Oh, thank you, Carol. I hope you're enjoying the... I actually would love some feedback regarding Pub Songs and Stories, which is my podcast where I'm sharing some of the songs from Virtual Public House, as well as it's also just a place where musicians can share stories. And I'd love some feedback with it because I don't know exactly what people think, and it helps, you know. So when Disney bought Star Wars, I was like, what's gonna happen? Oh wait, I know what's gonna happen. A long time ago, a tugboat far away, Mickey whistled out a tune while bouncing away. He turned color after one too many drinks. Then he called up Lucas saying, "Huh, dude, your writing stinks, huh?" When Mickey sobered up, he called the board to plan. "I've had a vision, a lightsaber in my hand. We'll make Star Wars we wish upon a part, and we'll do it far better than a story by Pixar, huh?" When the mouse wants your franchise, we'll start off licensing for rides. If you're tired and you need some cash, he'll buy from you. 1 part mouse and 1 part duck, 1 part Jedi and formulaic luck. A Wookiee on my right and a Goofy on my left, merging these two company. He's the biggest test. There's a Star Destroyer shaped like a mushroom house. The Beagle Boys stand before Sith Lord Mouse, while far away a Jedi Mickey stares into space. The 3 moons of Tatooine replaced by Mickey's face. 1 part mouse and 1 part duck, 1 part Jedi and formulaic luck. A Wookiee on my right and a Goofy on my left, merging these two company. He's the biggest test. Mickey meets Minnie and the Force is strong with her. He lays a kiss on her and the fans all hurl, cause Minnie's his sister. And that, folks, is a shame. Our love for those mice will never be the same. 1 part mouse and 1 part duck, 1 part Jedi and formulaic luck. A Wookiee on my right and a Goofy on my left, merging these two company. He's the biggest test. Mickey stabs a Sith, the dark mouse disappears. Wherever there's one Sith Lord, another will appear. The duck steps forward with a cloak as black as ink, with Jedi mice and ducks. I'll need a stronger drink. one part mouse and one part duck, one part Jedi and formulaic luck. A Wookiee on my right and a Goofy on my left, merging these two company. He's the biggest test. One part mouse and one part duck, one part Jedi and formulaic luck. A Wookiee on my right and a Goofy on my left, merging these two company. He's the biggest test. And of course, that song was on the newest of the Brobdingnagian and Bards CDs. You have CDs? The album is called I Will Not Sing Along. And there's actually a couple Star Wars songs on there, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, this is a song from my CD, Kilted for Her Pleasure. A Drop of Nelson's Blood is a wonderful story about basically Admiral Nelson, Lord Admiral Nelson. He was fighting a big battle in Trafalgar, Spain, in the early 1800s, and into the battle, I think it was like 33 English, French, Spanish ships to like 20 English ships, I think it is. And at the end of the battle, not one English ship sank, and over half the Spanish-French armada fled and lost. And it was a terribly sad though, because Admiral Nelson was shot and killed, and his body, they wanted to preserve his body, so they packed him in a barrel of rum, and thus came the song "A Drop of Nelson's Blood," which turns out is a great parody for Vulcan. A drop of Vulcan blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Vulcan blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Vulcan blood wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. We'll roll the old Enterprise along. We'll roll the old Enterprise along. We'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whew! A nice bat lift wouldn't do us any harm. A nice bat lift wouldn't do us any harm. A nice bat lift wouldn't do us any harm. Is there such a thing as a nice bat lift? We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! A nice plate of gawk wouldn't do us any harm. A nice plate of gawk wouldn't do us any harm. A nice plate of gawk wouldn't do us any harm. We'll all hang on behind. We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! Some Romulan ale wouldn't do me any harm. Some Romulan ale wouldn't do me any harm. Some Romulan ale, don't set it on fire. Dan testifies to that. We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! Let's see. An order from Kirk wouldn't do me any harm. An order from Kirk wouldn't do me any harm. An order from Kirk wouldn't do me any harm, unless I'm wearing a red shirt. We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Ooh, a nice red shirt wouldn't do you any harm. A nice red shirt wouldn't do you any harm. A nice red shirt wouldn't do you any harm. Ah! We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! Let's see. Hey, you know what? One of the fun things about this song is that you can add something that wouldn't do you any harm. So I need you to say what you wouldn't do you any harm in the comments, in the live chat, so that I can share it with others. In the meantime, some troubles with Tribble wouldn't do you any harm. Some troubles with Tribbles wouldn't do you any harm. Some troubles with Tribbles wouldn't do you any harm. And they're so cute! We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! And a Orion slave girl wouldn't do you any harm. An Orion slave girl wouldn't do you any harm. An Orion slave girl wouldn't do you any harm. And I'll hang on behind. We'll roll the old Enterprise along, we'll roll the old Enterprise along will roll the O. Enterprise along and we'll all hang on behind. Hoo! Let me see here. I think we could do... Oh. The COVID vaccine wouldn't do you any harm. The COVID vaccine wouldn't do you any harm. The COVID vaccine wouldn't do you any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. Hoo! Roll the O. Anytime along we'll roll the O. Enterprise along we'll roll the O. Enterprise along and we'll all hang on behind. Hoo! All right. Cat, you had it right there. Let's see. We got the tribbles. What we haven't done is 7 of 9 wouldn't do you any harm. 7 of 9 wouldn't do you any harm. 7 of 9 can assimilate me any day. We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! Catching fire at DragonCon wouldn't do you any harm. Catching fire at DragonCon wouldn't do you any harm. I don't know about that, Dan. That sounds dangerous. We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! A suspiciously oversized cat wouldn't do you any harm. Man, that was cruel, Kelly. Oversized cat wouldn't do you any harm. I'll hang on behind. We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! Dinner with Neelix wouldn't do you any harm. Dinner with Neelix wouldn't do you any harm. Dinner with... What the hell is that? We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Evil Spock wouldn't do us any harm. An evil Spock wouldn't do us any harm. An evil Spock wouldn't do us any harm unless you're Captain Kirk. We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whoo! I think, An overloading phaser wouldn't do you any harm. An overloading phaser wouldn't do any harm. An overloading phaser wouldn't do you any harm. If you beam it out to space, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. Whew, Dan, you suck. Seashells by the seashore wouldn't do us any harm. Seashells by the seashore wouldn't do us any harm. Seashells by the... I'll hang on behind. We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll hang on behind. A little time travel wouldn't do us any harm. A little time travel wouldn't do us any harm. A little time travel wouldn't do us any harm. And it might reboot the franchise. We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on behind. If the Borg are in the way, we'll roll right over them. If the Borg are in the way, we'll roll right over them. If the Borg are in the way, we'll roll right over them. My God, they adapted their shields! We'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, we'll roll the O. Enterprise along, and we'll all hang on. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do one final song for you. If you enjoy the music that you hear, I do make a living as a musician. So you can support my music by, well, you can go into my store where you can find CDs and stickers and Celtic heartstrings and podcast. Okay, not the podcast, but USBs. That's what I was thinking of. Vinyl records now. Haha, yeah. Or even better, you can head on over to Patreon and support my art over there. I do have a very vibrant Patreon page, and you can get lots of free downloads of whether it's music, that's things that some people are never going to get, sheet music. You'll get some of those. You'll get some early podcasts, lots and lots of great stuff. So go check it out if you want to support this music. You can find it all at celtfather.net. Somebody can put that into the notes there. If Miranda's there. You have stickers? Thank you. You know, Kelly, I was actually thinking about this. Kelly just posted, you have stickers. But I was at Sherwood Forest Fair this past weekend. I was like, you know, CDs were not selling at all at the festival. So I was like thinking, could I rip that off and just do, and we have stickers. You have stickers? Or something. But it just doesn't, I don't know if that just works as well. I think the CD thing just kind of works, you know? All right. We're going to finish up with one final song. This is one of my favorite songs from I Will Not Sing Along, the newest CD. I think, Miranda, I think you have to put the HTTP : to get an active link, so you know. But this is the Last Jedi drinking song. Long time ago in the nowhere part of space, Rey came of age, decided she would be a drinking ace. BB-8 would mix her drinks at morning and at night, so she learned to drink responsibly as a pilot for the light. She didn't need a shot of scotch or even a pint of beer to have fun and shape life without any fears. Stayed in control though the spirits flowed through her brains, and didn't have to sober much because she used restraint. She took a shit from Jakku with the drinking plan, though she had no Jedi master to take her by the hand. Drank the Order and the Rebels under tables through the rim, but her search for a Jedi drinking coach was looking rather grim. She didn't need a shot of scotch or even a pint of beer to have fun and face life without any fears. Stayed in control though the spirits flowed through her brains, and didn't have to sober much because she used restraint. She faced down Kylo Ren, and then after she awoke, Mini Vader lost his lunch, his hair held back by Snoke. She finally found the Last Jedi hiding in AA. He drank too much, swore off spirits, refusing to help Rey. She didn't need a shot of scotch or even a pint of beer to have fun and face life without any fears. Stayed in control though the spirits flowed through her brains, and didn't have to sober much because she used her restraint. She took his drinking guides and faced Kylo once again. It was a draw, but she knew next time that she would win. There's one thing that she learned from Luke and unconscious Kylo Ren, that women hold their liquor far better than do men. She didn't need a shot of scotch or even a pint of beer to have fun and face life without any fears. Stayed in control though the spirits flowed through her brains, and didn't have to sober much because she used restraint. She didn't need a shot of scotch or even a pint of beer to have fun and face life without any fears. Stayed in control though the spirits flowed through her brains, and didn't have to sober much because she used restraint. Alrighty, thank you so much for dropping in this week and every week for Coffee with the Celtfather. This is I'm doing this every week, so you can come enjoy lots of fun things right here on Coffee with the Celtfather on Thursdays at noon. So if this is new to you, you can make sure you do. I should point out that you should make sure that you subscribe. You can do that over at celtfather.net, or the subscribe button down below when that goes live. And click that notification bell so you get reminded about the show. And I will be back again next week. So I'll talk to you later. Slanch.